Hello, good evening, everyone. Now I'm here from Vidyalata classes, Monali Patil Chemistry faculty. We are today here to discuss board moderator session. Where, we will discuss how to write the theory paper for the board, which we get for 70 marks. Now I'm here from Vidyalata classes, Monali Patil Chemistry faculty. Now this is our chapter-wise distribution of the marks. Let us see which are the major chapter for HSC board. Major chapters are, we can see this chapter which are for 6 marks or 8 marks. These are considered our major chapters. So we have chemical thermodynamics, P block elements for 8 marks, chemical thermodynamics 6 marks. These marks which are written over here. These are compulsory. These are with options. Thermodynamics 6 marks compulsory with options 8 marks. Then P block we have for 8 marks. Compulsory 10 marks with option. Then solution colligative property, electrochemistry. Then we have D and F block, alcohol phenols. These are 5 marks each compulsory and 7 marks including option. The rest all chapters are either 4 marks or 3 marks compulsorily including option 4, 6. Then 5 we have 7 marks. Fine. So these are chapter wise weightage. We have this paper for 70 marks actually, but actually our paper is set for 98 marks, out of which we are going to write paper only for 70 marks. So we can say that 70 marks are compulsory. Then as we are aware about that, we have total 70 marks paper. We have to finish that paper in 3 hours, 180 minutes. Our theory papers has been divided into 4 sections. Section A, B, C, D. Section A carries 2 questions, question 1 and question 2. Question 1 have MCQs. 10 MCQs will be there, 1 mark each. Question 2 will have 8 questions where we are going to write answer either in 1 word or in 1 sentence, which are a very short type answer. Then we have section B wherein we have 8 questions. We have total 8 questions to be solved out of 12. Then section C we have to again solve. Section C again we have to solve 8 questions out of 12. Section B 2 marks each. Section C 3 marks each. Then we have section D where we will have total 5 marks, out of which we have to just solve 3 questions. Each will carry 4 marks. So we'll see details about it. See, these are general instruction for our theory paper. Use of log table is available, meaning log table will be provided to you. No calculator can be used. Then in our paper, right side figures will indicate will indicate marks. Then we have physical constants. Some physical constant will be provided to you. This is important. Numericals will be there in each section, like in section A, B, C, D. In all sections, we will have numerical. But the weightage of numerical will be 12 to 14 marks, meaning 12 marks compulsory, 14 marks including option. Then we will see weightage to type of questions. First, we have question number 1, wherein we have 8 questions compulsory. These are compulsory questions, question 1 and question 2. MCQ will be for 1 mark each, total 10 marks. Then we have very short type answer where question number 2 will have 8 questions wherein we will write answer in very short, either in 1 word or in 1 sentence, 1 mark each, total 8 marks. Then we have short answer type 1, meaning 2 marks question. Then 2 mark question number 3 to 14, section B, it will be for 24 marks. It will be for 24 marks. These are including option. You have to attempt only 8 questions. So compulsory questions are only 16. 16 marks will be compulsory. Your total again 12 questions will be there, out of which 8 will be compulsory. So compulsorily this section is for 24 marks. Then in section D you will have 4 marks each. Question number 27 to 31, 5 questions, out of which you are just going to solve 3 questions. 4 mark each, 4 threes are 12. So this is for 12 marks each. Fine. So here what we will just see MCQ sorry is for 1 mark each. Very short type answer, 1 mark each. For section B, 2 marks each. Section C, 3 marks each. It is considered as short answer type 2 or long answer. This section D, 4 mark each. It is considered as long answer type question. Coming to next. Now we have selection of question C. In question number B, section number B, C and D. We have options, right? In section B and section C. Total there are 12 questions, out of which we have to attempt only 8 questions. So what we will do on the last page. So last page you will consider as rough page. So this you will do on last page of your answer sheet as rough work. And there you will write section B, C, D. And section B will be 13. Question number 3 to 14. Section C will be from 15 to 26. Section D will be from 27 to 31. Fine. As we know that we have to select any 8 questions for section E as well as section C. So section B, we will suppose we are going to keep question 6 as option, question 10 as option, 12 and say 13. So initially only you have to decide that which questions you are keeping for the option. Then in section C also you will first select which question you are going to solve. Fine. So these are certain questions which I am going to keep for the option. Is that clear? So first you select the question. Then these will be considered as option. This will help you to understand that which question you are going to write and which you are keeping for option. So that while solving the, while writing the answers, you will not get confused at which questions to be solved, which question to be written. So initially only you will have something in your mind that I am going to solve only these 8 questions. These 4 I'll keep it for the option, right? So you will not think about those questions first. Then this is regarding selection of question. You have selected which question you are going to keep for the option. Then coming to the representation of answers, right? Now in the representation of answer, we have different kinds of question. In chemistry, we have MCQs. Remember, for MCQs, what care we have to take that for MCQs, you have to write question number properly. It is question number 1. Section A, you will write question number 1 and then you will write Roman number 1. As in question number 1 and 2, we have sub question having Roman numeral. You have to also mention Roman numeral only. Then if your answer is say option A, then you have to write option A. Then option A, if your answer for option A is say simple cube, then you have to write answer also as simple cube. Because question itself is asked as select proper answer, select and write correct answer. So you have to write, you have to select a proper option and then you have to write answer. So you have to mention option as well as answer. Fine. Now, if you are writing correct option with correct answer, then only you will get 1 mark. There is no half mark criteria in section A. So if by mistakenly you are writing only A, if you forget to write answer, or if you are writing only simple cube, then this will also get 0. So it will be considered as wrong. This is also considered as wrong. If you write question number 1 and instead of this is a Roman numeral, if you are writing it as question number just 1 or question 2 like that. Remember, question 3 onwards, these. Question 3 onwards become your question of section B, right? Because section B has question number 3 to 12. So you have to write down Roman numeral only. So this is the correct way to represent your MCQ. Secondly, what you have to remember that for MCQs only single attempt will be considered. Multiple attempt will not be considered. Meaning what? What is the meaning of single attempt? Now you will feel that you cannot edit your you cannot cancel your answer. Suppose say you are writing your paper. Now this is your say paper, and we have say page number 1, and yours say page number 7. There are certain students, they solve question number A, section A on page number 1, and they'll write answer of question number 1 as A followed by its correct answer. Then they'll solve again the same question. So here also you will write all 8 questions, 8 answers. So you'll write all 8. Again on question, page number 7, section, if you attempt section A once again. But if we change the option, instead of writing A over here, if we write B over there, if you will change the option, then you may get, suppose on page number A, in section A, if you get 7 marks, and here if you get 8 marks, then 2. Your first attempt will be considered. Second attempt, though it is highly scored, it will not be considered. Are you understanding? So, only first attempt will be considered. Multiple attempt will not be considered. Fine. It doesn't mean, some students feel that first attempt meaning cancellation, right? Suppose if you are changing your answer, like say my answer is not A, so you can change this answer. You can change answer, just strike it out and write your answer once again. This can be considered. But you cannot solve section A on another page once again. I hope you're understanding. You can change your answer, but that will be considered as first attempt only. If you will solve it on next page or another page, it will be considered as another attempt. Are you understanding? So that is regarding MCQs. Next, we have very short type answer wherein you are going to write answer either in one word or in one sentence. If numerical is asked, you have to just write down answer for the numerical. No need to write formula. Suppose it is asked to calculate work done, right? So we use formula work done is equal to minus P delta V, right? So either you will get your answer in liter atmosphere or in joules. But remember, there you have to just write down whatever is your answer with correct unit. No need to write formula. No need to show how you have solved this numerical. Fine. So only final answer is important. That is very short type of answer. Fine. Then coming to definitions. For definition and statement of law, it should be textual. That is, it should be from the textbook, HSC textbook only. No CBSE or NCERT book definitions will be accepted by the HSC board. As our scope is HSC board textbook, we will not go out of the scope of textbook, and even board will not ask the question which is out of syllabus. So the scope of our HSC board is only HSC textbook. So your definition and statement of law should be from the textbook only. Coming back to structures and reaction. For structures and reactions, it should be, the main question is whether to write it with pen or pencil. Remember, structures and reactions you will write with pen only. Fine. So you will write structures and reactions with pen. Then in reaction, proper lone pair should be shown if possible. Then in the structure also lone pair should be shown. Then you have to write proper condition, which conditions are important. You have to write major minor product as well. Write correct name of reactant as well as product. Next is numerical. For numericals, we have to write down data, then formula, then solution. Write down. If data, suppose your amount of substance is provided to you, and if you want to calculate number of moles, then if any small calculation is there to get the correct data, then data will carry half mark. So generally, or sometimes data may carry half mark, data always do not carry marks. Fine. So in some cases, data will carry some marks, say half mark. Formula is there, say for either 1 mark or half mark, it depends. Then half mark is substitution of the correct values in the formula. Then in the solution we get answer, right? So first we will write down data, then we write formula, then we write solution. If you're writing formula over here, no need to repeat that formula in the solution, right? So suppose we are calculating delta TF is equal to Kb into molarity. Now here directly you have to enter value of Kb and the molarity, right? And then this will be considered as substitution. So this, suppose this is for 1 mark formula, substitution will be for half mark. Your answer will carry half mark for the value plus half mark for the unit. Fine. And data, if it has, then data will carry half mark. If it has certain calculation like molality or something else, so it will carry half mark. So like that way, marks distribution will be there for the MCQ. Same as for 3 mark question. 3 mark question may have 2 formulas, right? So accordingly, you will get marks. Fine. Even though if you get confused between which formula to be used, like say work done has 2 different formulas. We have one for maximum work and one for the work at constant pressure minus P delta V. If you get confused, write both formulae. At least you will get mark for the formula and mention correct unit so that you can get mark for the unit. So even though if the numerical is asked for 3 mark, if you are writing correct formula, you will get 1 mark for that. And for the unit, you can get half mark at least. So 1.5 mark you can get. Is that clear? So do not leave any numerical. For numerical, you have to write all the formulae and write down correct unit. If you know the formula, at least you can get marks for the formula. Fine. Do not keep numerical for the option. Fine. Coming back to this derivation. In derivation, you have to write down all steps, mention all the terms which are used. Say, suppose we will take the same thing. Suppose we have this, say, derivation delta TF. We have to say find out relationship between molar mass and freezing point constant. So delta TF is equal to Kf into M. Then very first thing you have to mention that what is this delta TF, what is this Kf, and what is this M, right? As we all are aware about M is molality. Then write down formula for the molality, right? So we will write formula for the molality. Writing of formula of molality, again it will carry half mark. So you will get half mark for this, half mark for explaining the term which are involved in the formula. Then half mark for the molality and half mark you will rearrange your answer for molar mass of solute M2. right? Because molarity formula is W2 upon M2 upon W1 in kg, right? That is a formula of molarity. Then we will substitute it into this formula molality, and we will rearrange this for M2. Again, it will carry half mark, 2 mark as well for derivation. So in derivation, if it is asked for 2 marks or 3 marks, you have to write all the correct steps and mention all the terms which are involved. So you have to write what is W2, what is M2, that is molar mass of solute, molar mass of solvent, that you have to mention. Is that clear? Next, coming back to diagram. Diagram, we have to draw with compulsorily with pencil. Diagram should not cover whole page, but at least it should cover 50-60% of page. It should not be too small, like 20% or 10%. Very small diagram should not be drawn. You have to draw a diagram which is of enough size, like at least 50-60% of your page, or I can say that 70% of page should be occupied with that. So draw well and neat label diagram and label it. Fine. Then very short type answer, we have 2 marks answer, and then we have long answers, 3 and 4 marks. So for that, what you have to remember that sometimes you have question in our textbook. Only 3 sub points are there. Say we have to write uses of neon. Then you will feel that uses of neon, only 3 are there in the textbook, and then 2 they are asked for 2 marks. That is none of our business. Our job is just to write down correct uses, whether it can be 3 or 4. You may have marks distribution as half mark each point, or you may have distribution as 1 mark for 1 point, other 2 points are for half mark, right? That is not our business. We have to write down how many points are given in the textbook. The same points we have to write from the textbook. If your textbook has more than 4 points, then too it is asked for say 2 marks, then you have to write only 4 points. Fine. But even though if the number of points are lesser in the textbook and it has asked for the 2 marks or 3 marks, write down only those many points. See, last year the question was write anomalous behavior of oxygen. 1 point was there for 1 mark for anomalous behavior. Only 3 points, 3 points were compulsory to write for 3 marks. So 1 mark each. Each point carry 1 mark. So like that way, you do not think about marks distribution, right? So the points which are given in the textbook, those points we have to write. So you do not worry about marks distribution. Fine. Generally, this happens with uses and application if it is asked. Even though for 4 marks, we have same thing. See, in chemistry, we do not have much 4 mark question. So you may have combinations of question, like 2 marks question will be combined to each other, or you may have 1 mark the question plus 3 mark for the other type of say derivation or other question. So you may have combination of question, but remember that you will have in section D generally. First question 27, question number 27 has 2 mark numerical plus 2 mark for the theory question. So 2 mark, section D 2 mark in question number 27, 2 marks are reserved for the numerical. Fine. So there you will have distribution 2 plus 2. So here you may get combination of the 1 small question and 1 short question. Application uses chemical and physical property distribution point should be from the textbook only. Fine. Next, some general mistake we do in the paper. So first is we have to mention all question numbers. Suppose as I said we will select the questions like in section B if we are keeping 4 questions for the option. Fine. Then Even though if you are not solving those 4 questions, suppose say I have kept say question number 3 for option. So I'll solve question number 2. But if I'll not solve question 3, but at least mention question number 3 and then go to question number 4. You will write answer for this. You will write answer for this. But you will not, if you are not attempting this, at least write down question number. Or see, when you write question number, if then examiner will come to know that you have not attempted this question, and if any credit marks are there, then you can get credit for this question. So mention all the question numbers. Next, valency of carbon. We do not forget that valency of carbon is only 4, right? So you have to check that whether the valency of carbon is only 4, it is not exceeding or it is not becoming trivalent, right? So valency of carbon should be always 4. This generally happens in the reaction. Like we have so much of exam pressure, board exam. So that time sometimes students do write correct everything. Suppose here we have X and we are getting product wherein CH2, CH3, CH2, 2H. So here, this is making CH3 by mistakenly, right? After CH3, here we should write CH2. So this happens by mistake. But if your valency of carbon is not correct, even though your whole reaction is right, you will get 0 mark for that. So please see valency of carbon should not become 5 or should not become 3. It should be only 4. While writing reactions of polymer, suppose I write reactions of preparation of polyethylene from ethene. I am writing everything at high pressure and temperature. We will get CH2, CH2 n times. My reaction is right, correct? I have written the correct structure of reactant product. It is, suppose if I write name, this is ethene, this is polyethylene. I am writing correct conditions. Then two, so at high temperature and pressure. Then two, something major is missing. That is what I have to take n number of monomers. Then only I can get polymer, right? If you forget to write n, and if the reaction is asked for 2 marks, so sometimes reactions of polymers are asked for 2 marks. If you forget to write only n, out of 2 you will get 0. If you forget to write n. So n must be written in the reaction. Fine. Reactions of polymer, n is must. So you have to mention that n is must. Fine. Then we have to see for electrophilic substitution reaction organic chemistry electrophilic substitution reaction, we get generally ortho and para directing product. Para is major. You have to write, generally para is major. So you have to write which is major product and which is minor product. Major minor carries half of mark, 1 mark. And the reaction will carry 1 mark, 2 mark reaction. Fine. So you have to mention major minor. If you have name reactions, you have to write statement also for name reactions. While writing derivation, as I told you, do not forget to mention all the terms. Fine, whichever terms you are using, you have to explain, or you have to write down which terms you are using. For MCQs, as I told you, you have to write option as well as answer, and only single attempt will be considered. Regarding single attempt, I told you, you cannot write the whole section A again on next page. You will write it on the same page. You can change your answer there itself, but you cannot attempt the whole section once again. That is the meaning of first attempt. Then marks distribution. If you have 2 marks question, then marks distribution can be half mark each. It can be half, 1 half. It can be 1 plus 1. Like that way, same it is there for 3 mark question. Either you will have half of our distribution, or you may have 1 plus half plus 1 plus half. Like that way distribution. Okay. For optional question in section B, C, D, highly scored questions will be considered. Like say in section number B, we have question 3, 4, 5. 14 questions are there. Suppose we have your fine. Now we have to select. Suppose anybody is solving all the question, then we will select only 8 which are highly scored. So which one we will select? 2, 2, 2, 2. 4, then 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. 3, right? So we will select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1 mark question. Right? So these 4 will be considered as option. So highly scored 8 will be considered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Now if you do total 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 8. Then we have 9, 10, 11, 12. Half plus half 13. Total we are getting 13 and half. 13 and half will be rounded off to 14. Rounding off is done section wise. Section B, suppose you get 13 and half, 14 hoga. If your section C, there if you score say 10 and half, it will be converted to 11, rounded off to 11. Fine. So same as for section D. So section B, C and D, their half mark will be rounded off to Other in section A, you will not get such kind because in section A there is no half mark criteria. Now, next important part is time management. And how much time we have to carve out paper. Fine. So, section A. Section A, we get question number 1, MCQ 10. Question number 2, very short type answer, 8 questions. Total 18 questions. 18 questions, but there we have 10 MCQs. And MCQ also you will have numerical 1 or 2 only. In very short type answer, you will have 1 MCQs, right? So you will have say maximum two numericals over here. So what I feel is our paper is of 70 marks and we have total 180 minutes for that. So let us give 2 minutes per mark, right? So we have section A for 18 marks. 18 twos are 36. Fine. So 18 twos are 36 minutes. So instead of using 36 minutes, we will try to finish our section A in 30 minutes. As it has MCQs, there are less points, less things to be written. So it can be covered in 30 marks. So 10 MCQs you have to solve in 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes you can do very short type answer, right? You're there. If you know the answer, you can write your answer in short, either in 1 word or in 1 sentence. Then we have section B. Section B, 16 twos are 32. Instead of, see, there are 8 questions to be written, 2 marks each. So for 8 questions, let us, instead of giving 32 minutes, we will give 40 minutes. Because here we have saved our time, which we will utilize it over here. So we can finish our section B in remaining 40 minutes. Fine. Section C is for 24 marks, compulsory 24 marks. 24 twos are 48. Now here we have 3 marks questions, total 8 questions. So for 8 questions, 3 marks each, let us give 1 hour, 60 minutes. So in 60 minutes, you have to finish your section C. Then section D. Section D has 3 questions, 4 mark each. So it is 12 to the 24. For 3 questions, 4 marks each, we will give 30 minutes. 10 minutes per question, 4 mark each. So 10 minutes will give to each question, 3 questions, 30 minutes. If you will calculate this time, it is total 160 minutes. Fine. Still, you will have 20 minutes. Those 20 minutes you will divide into 2. At the starting, as I told you, for the selection of question and read your question paper, give those 10 minutes for that. So in 10 minutes, you have to read your question paper properly. And on the last page, I showed you how to select the questions. You have to do selection of question, meaning which question you are going to keep for the options. That thing you can do in 10 minutes. And in remaining 10 minutes at the end, what you will do? You will check section A, whether I have written all the options and answers. Suppose if you are leaving, say, section B, you have started, but you are getting stuck at certain point. Leave some space and go to next section. Fine. Then what I will suggest, and in last 10 minutes, if you leave any question incomplete, try to write answer. If you feel like, even though if you have kept some question for the option and if you wanted to write its answer, go and write in remaining time. For that, what I will suggest you, once you see, whenever you are writing a paper, you start with section A. Some students, they want to try with section D. But what I feel is, instead of changing the serial of the section, it's better to keep same serial. You can change the question number. I mean, you can change the series of question number in section. Do not mix 2 sections. Suppose you started section A, complete section A, then you go to section B. If you feel like I do not know the answer of some question of section B, then leave some space and go ahead and then start with question C. When you recollect answer, again come back to section B and write down the answer. But do not mix 2 sections. Meaning, if you have started with question, say section B, and then you in between, like 2 questions have solved of question, section B. Then if you are starting with section C, once again after section C, you are starting with section B. Do not do that. So first complete one section, go to next section. If you do not know answer, leave space and go ahead. But do not mix 2 sections. Fine. So this is regarding marks distribution and writing of your answer. Fine. Then some students still have doubt that which textbook we have to use. So this is our state board textbook from which you have to write the definition and statement of law. This is one score booster for HSC board paper, wherein you will get all physics, chemistry, maths, biology, solved papers, and section wise, chapter wise, the questions will be given to you. So it is score booster for HSC board, and for CET score booster is this. So these are some score boosters given for the pure science PCMB. These are also available on the Amazon, Flipkart, so you can purchase it also. See, is a topper Pranav Pute. He has got first rank in the Maharashtra in MHCET, physics, chemistry, maths. He has got all 100 percentile. This is from Vidyalankar. Then there are some online test series which are available on this website. You can go through that. These are some online test series. So again, you can go through that. It is available on this Vidyalankar's website. So all the best for your exam. Thank you so much.